Snuggle Stories presents Patrick Picklebottom and the Longest Wait. Written by Mr. J and illustrated by Gary Wilkinson. For young Patrick Picklebottom, who loved books most of all, it was exciting to read what was up on the wall. The sign said that story time's round 5 o'clock, a cute little tale about a flat-sided rock. It's supposed to be good. He had heard a review, but he was 2 hours early with nothing to do. So he sat and he waited. And he waited some more bored, more impatient than ever before. Was it 5 yet? He looked at the clock just to see. But oh no, it was only 2 minutes past 3. It felt like a week had already gone by, and for a moment he thought he might break down and cry. He had to find something to pass time along, so he decided to start by singing a song. He began with Dem Bones, right into Blind Mice, then some 80s rock ballads that he thought were quite nice. He was dancing around, having all sorts of fun. And the next thing he knew, it was 3:31. Patrick sang all his songs and his dancing was through. So he set out to find something new he could do. So he wrote a short poem about a little green elf. Not a bad piece of work, if he said so himself. The little green elf sat up on a shelf and didn't have much to eat. He chewed on his tie and then wondered why, so he ate his delicious green feet. So it wasn't that great, and he'd have written some more, but he glanced at the clock, and it was 10 after 4. The next thing he did was to find some old chalk, and he drew a bright sun, some clouds, and a hawk, soaring the sky above a field and a lake, and then, for no reason, he drew a big cake. It was chocolate with frosting and swirly red lines, and big smiley faces and star-shaped designs. Then he drew a fast car and pretended to race before drawing a rocket and flying through space. A small castle here, and a dinosaur there, and a chess game between a fern and a bear. He drew a small monster biting somebody's nose, and then a fat bug wearing oversized clothes. Patrick stared up at the world he'd created, all the things he had made in the time he had waited. The next thing he knew, it was 20 past 5, but story time had simply failed to arrive. He looked at the sign to figure out why, and smiled to himself with a wry little sigh. The time was at 5, but the day was tomorrow, though he didn't feel anger, annoyance, or sorrow. He'd simply come back, and he wouldn't be late, precisely at 3, to enjoy his long wait.
Like this video, give a thumbs up and subscribe. See you next week!